right there, 4 times a lap, and you got to have that left front almost in the infield when you go through the corners.
Yeah, we've seen some problems already in qualifying. Now, this really is a race within a race. They run here every week on a regional basis, but this is also one of 4 USAC national midget races, so truly 2 races this evening.
Yeah, on the regional scene, Steve Knepper really has it together. You know, luck has a lot to do with it, but he's a good racer anywhere. In his father's car, he's won 1 feature. He's won 4 other features in his brother-in-law's car. He does a lot of racing, but loves his track. On the national scene, we have Jason Leffer, has a real good season going for him, 5 national wins and a string of top 5 finishes. He's just about got that captured, but it's a good showdown for both cases.
Well, the third member of the broadcast crew is Mike King. We have him sequestered back there in the pit area.
Well, hi, guys. Indeed, it is a beautiful night for racing here at 16th Street Speedway. 34 cars here in the pit area. We're going to be talking to many of the drivers, many of the crew members as they get set to go racing here tonight. When we come back, we'll talk with the fastest qualifier here tonight, Donnie Beechler. Stay tuned to Speed Vision. More from 16th Street Speedway comes your way right after this. Welcome back to 16th Street Speedway. Welcome back to 16th Street Speedway. Just about ready to get underway with our first heat, and this guy will be at the tail. This is Donnie Beechler, our fast qualifier, 12.429. Steve Lewis, Bob East, he's giving you another good car here tonight. First time at 16th Street Speedway in the Bob East chassis.
Yeah, we got her hooked up pretty good early. Track was good when we went out to qualify. Even in hot laps, we were in the first session. Kind of slimy a little bit, but it got blowed off after the second session and gave us a pretty good track to run on.
A little bit unusual as far as track conditions. We're used to seeing it ruddy and kind of heavy. Right now, it's out there, it's slick.
Yeah, it is. I tell you, I mean, the times show it. I mean, we're like 4/10 faster, or 2/10 faster than second place, I think. So hopefully, I don't think it's going to get any quicker as the race goes on, but I think that we're going to see some slower times maybe.
Well, Gary, JP, as you saw, they took his car. That must mean it's time for him to race. Donnie Beechler, our fast qualifier, we'll let you go, pal. Go get him, and first heat action coming your way. Let's go back upstairs to Gary and JP.
Now the lineup for our first of 4 heat races, 10 laps in length. There's the furl flag. Next time around they go racing. Johnny Parsons the third inside the front row alongside Barry Reed. The second row, Tony Elliott and Travis Wellpot. The third row, Mike Bymaster and Critter Malone. And row 4, Tracy Hines, the 6th fastest qualifier, and Donnie Beechler, the fastest qualifier. They are inverted. The fastest on the rear. 4 will transfer. Billy Shipman has the green flag. The first of 4 heat races underway here on this quarter-mile track. And Johnny, there's your namesake out in front. He had some handling problems in qualifying.
He's got a new frame on
Now a problem already. Your fast qualifier, Beechler, has the right front knocked off the car.
Man. You know, like we
down between turns 2 and 3. Not a lot of room here, but it's unusual to have the right front knocked off. Let's see what happened. He's at the back of the pack on the inverted start.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, it's a narrow groove, very little margin for error. He comes up quick on Critter Malone, has to get out of the group just a little bit, and boom.
Tap the right rear. That slapped the front around. And that means that Bob East and company will have to go to work and do some hearty repairs to that car to get it ready for the semi.
He almost wore that. You notice he got up on 2 wheels. Fortunately, wasn't going real fast, but, you know, like I say, narrow groove. You get out of the groove and the marbles, just like on the pavement track you see sometimes in Fence City right away.
All right, there is the furl flag. They go back 2 by 2. We did not complete 1 lap because of that crash, so a complete restart with Johnny Parsons the third in car 25, the Indianapolis Colts car.
Now, Beechler, as you know, will get a chance to make a feature to the semi. Each fast qualifier will start on the pole in this thing.
Racing now, once again, the first of 4 races here in heat race competition. And Johnny Parsons, the third, gets the good jump, and it looks like he's got some handling. He had some trouble in qualifying. Barry Reed runs in second right now, but look at that gap between first, and there's Reed, the number 16 car.
And Tony Elliott drops out in the infield. He had engine problems qualifying too. Evidently, it might be engine related.
Travis Wellpot, a graduate of the Indiana TQ ranks, back in the red number 18 in the 3rd position. The 4th spot now is Critter Malone. Chris Malone in that yellow and red number 7.
Oh, yeah, he's in a quicker car, qualified quicker than the 2 cars in front of him. And the 3 car, the 27 car, trying to get around slower traffic. Johnny's got a straightaway lead right now, keeping it straight as the track dries out. It's what you got to do, Gary, as you know.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, all together on the racetrack. Throw a blanket over all of them because only 4 will transfer. That good battle for the 4th spot. That's Tracy Hines in the black number 3 on the inside. Hines back there in 5th. Right now, a little bumping and bagging as the loser in that fracas was the number 16. Barry Reed dropped from that 2nd spot. 2nd now belongs to the number 18 of Travis Wellpott. 3rd, the 7 of Critter Malone. And 4th now is Tracy Hines. Hines presently is 2nd in the national midget standings.
He's doing a good job. He's running out of room. Oh, just about caught Critter's right rear. He's running out of room.
Look at your son out there with almost a 2-turn advantage.
Good lead. You know, he's doing a good job. The car's hooked up, but it's Travis trying to hold on that 2nd place transfer spot. If he gives it up, 2 or 3 cars might go by. He might have to run the semi. He's doing a good job keeping the car straight, Gary. Track's drying out. What you need to do.
There's a look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 2nd again is Travis Wellpott. There's number 3. That is Tracy Hines. In 3rd, he goes to the inside. They make contact.
Excuse me?
And he goes on by, and then, well, Travis came back to bump him just a bit as the white flag is out for your leader.
That was a love tap, Gary. It was not a bump. It was a love tap.
Love tap? Well, it's going to be all Johnny Parsons III in the Indianapolis Colt machine, and Father JP is up here saluting his son's victory.
On Indianapolis Colts night here.
On Indy Colts night, that's right. The number 3 car of Tracy Hines went 2nd as you take a look at Johnny Parsons III. Travis Wellpott, number 18, took 3rd position, and 4th, number 7, Critter Malone. So a totally different race car than what he had to qualify.
Exactly. That's a new stealth chassis. They've done a good job. They've had 3 chassis under it. They're working real hard with the help of Steve Baber and the rest of the Colts guys. They want to get a good mount under him, get things going.
Here's a little love tap right here. This is a non-contact sport that sometimes has some contact. No harm, no foul. That's the way you get by sometimes here.
Well, this size of track kind of reminds you of indoor midget racing. It's kind of the same thing. You know, you run close quarters, low margin for errors we spoke of, and sometimes you got to help a little nudge.
Well, tonight we have a double dip of Johnny Parsons. You saw Johnny off the top of the program standing next to me. Now let's meet Johnny the Third, Mike King.
Well, it's only appropriate on a night that featured the Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders here for a big autograph session that this car should win the first heat race. JP, well, we're going to give you time to pull the helmet off. Your dad's upstairs in the booth, so I'm sure he's going to want to hear some kind of explanation about how hooked up this car was. Congratulations. That was a great race.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's great that I could do this the night that all the Colts are here. Yeah, we've been struggling with this car. We crashed it last week and just rebuilt it completely with a new chassis and everything. And we really got it hooked up in the heat race. It felt great.
You know, tell us about the track conditions. Looks a little slick out there, but you clearly had the perfect setup for this racetrack.
Yeah, it felt great. The track conditions are pretty smooth, and the front stretch is pretty heavy like it usually is, and the back is drying off. There's still a little bit of cushion. You have to be careful, though, in turn 3, where the cushion goes away right up to the wall, though. So I just was taking it easy, and when things go great, you know, it just it makes for an easy race.
Anything to say to Dad up there in the booth?
I don't know. I know he wants to be down here with us, and he's been a lot of help this season. But I know he's having a good time up there.
Yeah, JP, your boy did good, man. If he's that hooked up in the feature, he's going to be hard to beat. Let's get back upstairs.
So a happy Johnny Parsons III, victorious in the heat number 1, and a happy Dad seated next to me. We'll take this break, come back with heat number 2 from the 16th Street Speedway.
There you go. Donnie Beechler's car being brought back to the pit area. Certainly we didn't want to be talking to you about something like this. What happened?
Just starting in the back, you know, the top 4 are the ones that transfer, so we're trying to gain as many spots as we can. Just got up in the loose stuff there going into 1, and once you have that kind of momentum, there's no cushion really to hold you in, and we just slid up into the wall. So we'll get her fixed, put a new front end under it, and get back out for the semi.
Okay, so the Steve Lewis, Bobby's crew is going to go to work on this car. He says he'll be ready to go back out in the B main.
Lineup for heat race number 2, Bruce Atkins and Ralph Liguri, the 70-year-old veteran. In the front row, the second row, Jeff Sands and Jason Leffler leading the national point standings. Row 3, Andy Pierce, a winner here earlier this season. And Robbie Flock, a 3-time Western States midget champion. In the 4th row, Steve Knepper and Tony Stewart if they can get his car started. But right now, they've had trouble with that car all evening. Tony, of course, leading the point standings in the Indy Racing League. He won a race earlier this season with the Indy cars at Pikes Peak, has a 10-point lead over Davey Hamilton going to the season finale. So once again, we are ready for the second of our 4 heat races, 10 laps in length. And for you new race fans, the USAC competition, Johnny, these are inverted. The fast drivers go to the back of the pack, which makes it a lot more interesting and a lot tougher to transfer to that main event. Only 4 transfer, and the others will go through the last chance of the semi. There's the green flag, and Ralph Liguri, the 70-year-old from Tampa, Florida, gets his nose out in front. A good battle in behind him, but Ralph looks like he might lead this first lap. In his 6th season, or 6th decade, we should say, of racing, he has that high line, but here comes Animal. Bruce Atkins on the inside, but a challenge for second position. There is Jason Leffler.
And Robbie Flock's not far behind, and it's going to be good, close racing. Yeah, well, there
Here
goes
comes
Leffler.
Tony Stewart from the back of the pack. Tony's won here a couple of times this season already. Knepper is also in this one in the yellow 55, back up to the front of the pack. There is the battle for the lead. Ralph Liguri out of Tampa, Jason Leffler out of Long Beach, California.
Flock is at 3rd. Andy Pierce is in transfer 4th.
And look at Tony Stewart.
Jason Leffler in the lead now. Leffler's going to pull away now.
Jason Leffler now has the lead. There's a battle for second as we watch Jason Leffler.
That's Flock
in that lead.
Robbie Flock trying Ralph. Yep. Stewart's going for the 4th transfer spot. Pierce is going to get by Ralphie right now. Whoa. Oh, Ralph in the wall.
Ralph Liguri just banged that outside wall, and you can see some damage to the right rear. That will bring out the yellow as he will coast to a stop in turn 4 with some frustration. We'll take a look now at the replay. And he was by himself. Let's see if he gets bumped.
Well, that's turn 1 right here.
I don't think he actually got bumped. He just got very high coming through that corner and made contact.
Yeah, he just got a little bit out of the groove. It's like threading a needle. It's just you don't have that much room, and looks like he at least bent the wheel, maybe the axle. So Ralph's done for this race. Maybe the evening.
I'll tell you what. How many 70-year-old guys can even climb out of a cockpit of a race car over the roll cage?
Yeah, he does a good job.
Green flag flies. We are racing once again after that yellow flag for slight wall contact by Ralph Liguri.
Now Knepper's going to try and get by Stewart to get the transfer. Doesn't want to run the semi. Former winner. 2 cars in front of him. 3 cars in front of him have won here before too. Tough race.
Well, Knepper has won 5 events here. He leads the regional standings. Tony Stewart has won twice here.
Oh.
He's only been, I think, 5 national events, and he's won 3 of them.
And just like that, Robbie Flock is out of the top 4. Now he's going to catch up and challenge Stewart, hanging in
Robbie
there.
Flock in that 3 car. That car won here a few weeks ago. Robbie Flock, a 3-time Western States champion. There's a look quickly at Tony Stewart.
Andy
Stewart
Pierce
now back in the 4th position.
The 61 car was the winner in that 3 car that Flock is in. And Knepper behind him also in a winning car.
There is the white flag, 1 lap to go. And your leader is young Jason Leffler out of Long Beach, California. This, of course, is a national event. He's won 5 national events so far this season, so he takes the victory, a short straightaway advantage over the 61 car of Andy Pierce.
Knepper
And the
was
55 car of Knepper, his dad's car, and then the number 3, so Knepper was 4th. And the 32 car was in 4th position, Tony Stewart. Well, we've talked a lot about Jason Leffler, the kind of season that he is having. Let's go down and visit with him with Mike King.
Well, guys, the Willoughby racing team always seems to be tough here. Jason Leffler just getting out of the car after a great win in heat number 2. You know, Ralphie Racer gave you a couple of laps there. The guy can still go.
Yeah, he's been racing a long time, you know, and as long if you've been racing that, you know, kind of years, you have a lot of experience. But the Pete Willoughby stealth Curdy's working pretty good. I messed up pretty bad in qualifying, and got to make it up to these guys. You know, we got to start deep in the field tonight, but I feel pretty confident.
We've been talking about track conditions here. Usually we're used to a track that's a little bit ruddier, a little bit heavier. Seems a little slick out there tonight.
Yeah, it's slick, but it's still racy right now where you can pass guys, you know, and I think it'll stay there. And I think you'll see a real good race in the future.
This car got a win in it this evening?
I think so.
Okay, that's Jason Leffler. He's the guy leading the national points. He can pad that lead with a victory here tonight.
Well, 8 drivers so far, Johnny, have advanced to the feature. We'll have 2 more heat races and a semi as we come back to the 16th Street Speedway. We welcome you back to our Speed Vision coverage of the USAC National Midgets from the 16th Street Speedway. Ready now for the lineup for heat race number 3. Bill Eubank in the other Volkswagen here this evening. We'll start from the pole. Jeff Titus outside the front row. In the second row, it's Roger McCluskey Jr. Eric Gordon will start outside in row 3. Doug Coletta making a rare start in a midget on dirt. He's the 94 USAC Sprint Car champion. Ted Hines will start outside row 3. Alone in row 4 will be Brian Gerster. Brian Gerster, of course, has done very well at this racetrack. He has 3 victories so far this year. He's also done well at the national level. As we go to the green flag, our 3rd heat race is underway, and immediately Jeff Titus goes to work on the high side and goes for the lead. Here comes Eric Gordon, the veteran from Greenfield, Indiana. Gordon goes to 2nd position.
Finding a little something up high in the second group, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Whoa, there he goes. You notice, Gary, as the race goes on, the track dries out. The drivers keep the car straighter, and they're steering it more with the throttle. That is, more throttle to get the back end loose, less throttle to keep it straight.
Boy, and Ted Hines, quickly from the back of the pack, has taken the lead. We have 2 Hines brothers here this evening, Ted and Tracy. Ted is the older of the 2, a 3-time Speedrome midget champion out there on the east side of Indianapolis. There's a battle back there for the transfer position.
Yeah, Brian Gerster, good job. Look out ahead of him.
They got a spin,
Oh, no.
crash over, my. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, no.
Well, what do you do here, JB? You
Yeah.
got the entire track blocked. The yellow remains out, no red. They've got some room on the high side to get by. Well, you can see Coletta down there in the 21 cars involved. The 14 car of Jeff Titus. There's the 111 of Roger McCluskey. And there's the number 1 of Gerster.
Hopefully nobody got bent up bad enough that they can't restart. Now, if somebody has a problem with the wheel, a minor problem, they can take it back around the corner.
Well, call it, JP. What happened here?
Well, there's Brian Gerster trying to keep it straight. I think it happens in front of Brian. He right there, he reacts, slows down, goes to the outside, tries the inside, and it just roadblock. And boom! Oh, that might have done some damage.
That did some damage to probably 2 cars. Gerster
Well,
maybe being one and McCluskey being the other. So the drivers are climbing out. We're trying to sort through this melee. We also saw the 37 car of Bill Eubank parked down there. He had avoided the crash, but he is down there in that infield lane. There you can see him at the top of your screen. Well, Johnny, we have lost 3 cars from that little altercation over there. Jeff Titus in 14, Bill Eubanks in 37, Brian Gerster in number 1S. So all 4 of these drivers will transfer as they take the green flag, racing again here in heat race number 3. And I think that Teddy Hines probably will have these guys covered, although the number 69 running a close second there, and that's Eric Gordon.
Yeah, they are going to, you know, they're guaranteed a spot in the feature if they drop out trying to gain a spot. So they're going to race a little bit here. I think Hines is going to be tough to beat. He's keeping it pretty straight, gassing it good.
You know, we thought at one time we had a pavement-only shoe in Teddy Hines, but after winning 3 championships at the Indianapolis Speedrome, that 5th of a mile paved oval, he is showing some expertise on the bigger tracks and also on the dirt tracks.
Well, he's a savvy veteran, you know, been working on these cars for a long time, and he comes from good stock, you know. His
Great
dad.
racing family in Newcastle, Indiana. His dad ran midgets and sprints for many years. 4 laps to go. There's a good look at Doug Coletta, the 94 USAC Sprint Car champion and runner-up in 95 and 96. Likes the pavement a whole lot better than the dirt, so we were really surprised when he showed up this evening. There's a look at Eric Gordon, who on 3 occasions has been the runner-up in the USAC Sprint Car division, a former runner-up in the USAC Silver Crown division. Actually took about 2 months off, took a sabbatical from racing. As you take a look at Ted Hines, who continues to lead this thing, and almost a turn advantage now over the red car of Eric.
And there's Coletta hasn't run here that much, so he's catching on to the track. He's an experienced driver.
White flag, 1 lap to go.
Coletta's looking better, looking good. The guys know they have to keep it smooth, and a little quicker than my look.
Well, there's a checkered flag for Ted Hines. The 81 car wins it. The 69 car of Eric Gordon goes second, and third would be Coletta. And the 4th and final transfer spot, only 4 cars out there, but the 111 is Roger McCluskey Jr. So those 4 will transfer. One of the drivers that we lost in that fracas over there is Brian Gerster, who's won a couple of times this season here at 16th Street. He's 3rd in the regional point standings, but his evening may be over, Mike King.
Well, Brian Gerster has won 3 times here at 16th Street Speedway. The question is now, you're going to be able to have an opportunity to go for 4.
I hope so. If we can get this thing fixed, we'll be all right. I mean, the car's really super fast. The cigarette eliminator car's good. The first night I've been in this car here, we won with it last week, so I know the car's fast. We qualified well. We just got, you know, somebody else had a problem there, and we got sucked up in it accidentally. So fortunately, he, you know, did that little Tasmanian devil deal right in front of us. So, you know, that happens here sometimes.
Well, Brian Gerster and company, they have gathered enough parts to put this one back together. They say they'll be ready for the B-main. Lots of activity back here in the pit area as these crews get these cars ready to go racing here at 16th Street Speedway. We'll be back with more right after this.
For pure excitement, it's tough to beat open wheel racing. If you're going to compete at this level, you've got to know what you're doing. Potter Racing Team has won the USAC Midget Championship twice in recent years. They campaign both in the Midget and Silver Crown Series. Why take your car to Ralph's? The same people who will be custom fitting a muffler to your car and fixing your brakes are members of the Potter Racing Team. If they can win races, don't you think they can fix your car? When you need a muffler or brakes, come to Ralph's. We've got it.
Ralph's Muffler Shop.
The cars are now on the track, lining up for our 4th and final heat race. In the front row, Norm Young will be alongside Bill Jorgensen. In the second row, Jimmy Trinan and Roy Carruthers. In row 3, Nick Lundgren and Andy Mitchner. In row 4, your 4th fast qualifier, Jay Drake. Now, Jay Drake, a former Western States Midget champion, is now 3rd in the national point standings. And notice the color scheme. He is a teammate to Jason Leffler. Pete Willoughby, the team owner out of Columbus, Indiana. And that is a very stout racing team.
Then they have Keith Kutz, chief wrench turner on that. Occasionally is Rusty will come along and do some racing with. But the guys have had it together, been with a few different teams over the last 4 or 5 years, been successful with each and every one.
They have been successful every place they have gone, and we cannot discount how important crew chiefs, team owner, and team members are to a successful racing effort. As we're about to go green in this 4th heat race, the shipment gives the green flag, and they turn these little buzz bombs loose on this quarter-mile third oval. That yellow 15 is Carruthers. Oh, the car upside down.
Jorgensen.
Bill Jorgensen hanging upside down in the cockpit. You see some fuel pouring from that car.
He's moving. He's out.
He's all right.
He better get out of there.
It was a pretty easy over, but he really has no room to climb out unless he gets out on the side.
Yeah,
they probably will. They're going to let him. Yeah, they might roll that car back over before the red flag comes out, so we'll have a complete restart. They want to roll the car over. The driver is okay and give him some room to either climb out or wait till they right the car. You can see all that methanol pouring from the tail tank.
That's unusual that much would pour out of there, Gary, because they usually have pretty good safety features, you know, around that. He might have damaged something up the top of that tank.
Well, we'll take a look at what happened. Now, once again, they had just gone green. Now, he's the second yellow car back there.
That 51 car slows everybody down. He gets crossed up and the wrong side, digs in, probably the wheel. Watch his helmet, doesn't hit. Fortunately, wasn't going too fast, but took a little ride.
A complete restart after losing Bill Jorgensen after he got upside down. So Roy Carruthers will go outside the front row in that yellow number 15, and he grabs the lead just as you would anticipate one of the more seasoned drivers in this particular heat race. Roy Carruthers goes to the point.
Roy's doing a good job here at 16th Street Speedway. Oh, he got tagged there. Whoa, excuse me, Andy Mitchner.
Andy Mitchner around the high side.
Oh,
there's Jay Drake.
He's got him
the
now.
black 97. The top 3 are right together on the racetrack.
Oh, back and forth.
On the high side, the pass is made, and your new leaders, Andy Mitchner, former runner-up in the USAC National Midget Championship. Jay Drake likes the inside. Jay was the fast qualifier here and held the track record for a while early in the season. As you look at Andy Mitchner out of Michigan.
Yeah, let's see if Drake can catch him. Close in. It's going to be a good battle. Preview of what's to come.
So it's a battle for the 4th and final transfer position. That is Jimmy Trinan and Bill Hamlin at 39. The 49 is Nick Lundgren. Nick is in 49, the black car, and he now is in 4th position.
Jimmy closing in on it. Gets to the slick spot. Whoops. And to do. You got to do a lot of steering right here. You're backing out of the throttle, hooking her up, getting with it as much as you can. Right there.
Basically, you're driving these cars with the throttle.
When it gets like this, actually, yeah. Absolutely.
You're steering. You actually react.
Oh.
And a spin over in turn 4. That's the 51 car of Norm Young. Lined up now for the single file restart. We're about to go green. Once again, Andy Pierce is your leader. Right behind you. That's Andy Mitchner. Andy Mitchner is now leading the race. And the red 2 car, but right behind him, closing and challenging, is Jay Drake. And Drake, there's that move on the inside.
Watch it now, watch it. Yeah, and a good
look at that, but he slides high.
Oh, yeah.
And Mitchner goes back around.
Good racing here. Yeah. He's right on him.
On the inside, the black car is Drake.
Well, he definitely knows he's there. Yeah, Drake's really got it covered. That car's working real good. Mitchner's not doing a bad job. Doing a good job. It's good, tough racing here.
While you're watching the battle up in front, only 4 drivers will transfer.
Now, you notice there's no margin when they come off that third turn. You watch it again if they come off this next turn, how they have to really straighten it up and keep from hitting this wall coming off here right there. That's the tight spot tonight.
There's the white flag, 1 lap to go. Your 4th position belongs to Lundgren in 49. 3rd is Roy Carruthers, so those 4 will transfer. So Drake will take the victory over Andy Mitchner. Then it's Carruthers and then Lundgren. So those 4 will transfer, and the rest will have to go through that last chance race.
Yeah, Lundgren did a good job going out late in the evening on the qualifying.
Quick qualifier tonight goes from the tail to the front of the field. Final round of applause for Jay Drake.
All right, back to the pit lane and Mike King.
Well, as Willoughby Racing teammate won heat race number 2, Jay Drake, a great battle with Andy Mitchner. You're the winner of heat race number 4. Good race.
Yeah, thanks. I tell you, Keith Coons, he got the car working real good for the heat race there. And you know, we'll come back here, tune on a little bit more, and hopefully we'll be just as good or a little bit better for the main event. I think we'll have a good chance.
Take us back to that wild restart, man. You had him and then kicked the car out a little bit, then you brought it back to make the pass again.
Yeah, I got under him a little hot there, and I didn't want to slide up into him, so I was going to get on the brakes to keep from sliding into him. And when I did that, I locked the rear end up, and I really slid into him. Fortunately, he was heads up enough to turn back under me and get back by me, so it turned out to be a real clean race, and I'm sure it looked exciting.
Well, guys, judging by what we've seen in the heat races, he, his teammate, and a lot of other guys have a good opportunity to win the feature here tonight. I can't wait. Jay, congratulations.
Well, that concludes our heat race action here at 16th Street Speedway. We'll take a break, come back with our semi, and of course, the 30-lap main event. We welcome you back to the 16th Street Speedway. Gary Lee along with Johnny Parsons here in the broadcast booth. Mike King along in the pit lane. Here's your lineup for our 12-lap semi. Starting straight up, the fastest qualifiers in front after a yeoman job in the pit lane. 2 cars repaired. Donnie Beechler and Brian Gerster in the 2nd row. Robbie Flock, Mike Bymaster, Jeff Sands, and Jimmy Drynan in the 3rd row. The 4th row, Tony Elliott and Ralph LaGuerre. The 5th row, Jeff Titus and Bill Jorgensen. And it's Barry Reed and Bruce Atkins in row 5. Make that row 6. Row 7, Bill Eubanks and Norm Young. What do we count up? About 8 different power plants?
7 or 8 different engines, 12 cars in this race.
And Ed Pinkford will start from the pole. And there is Beechler and Gertie alongside in the Brian Gerster car. And immediately, the number 9 car, the Steve Lewis Performance Racing entry, takes the lead. That car was put back together, a whole new front end put under it.
Oh, no! Sands, end over end.
Jeff Sands.
He's all right.
Takes a header down the front straightaway right below the flag stand.
He got up in the air, Gary, almost hit
The red flag is out. We stop. You can see the damage, but you can see that he is okay, and he is climbing out. Let's take a look again.
Okay, remember we talked earlier about that outside wall where the emergency vehicle comes out. He's out. Oh, he just gets it with the right rear, comes back on the left, digs the front end over and over, barrel rolls.
Once again, the roll cage doing its job. Jeff Sands climbed out, surveyed the damage, took the long walk back to the pit area, and he's with Mike King.
Well, we have caught up with Jeff Sands. Jeff, first off, you're fine. Tell us about the accident.
Yeah, I'm fine. We just, that was totally my fault. I used too much of the racetrack. Had it hooked up on the outside and was passing cars, and I just ran out of racetrack and hit that retaining wall coming out from the exit there. So this was the last chance race, and I was going towards the front, and I just used too much racetrack, and, you know, it was my mistake.
It's a little slick, but you can still race it.
Okay, guys, so Jeff Sands is okay. That's the good news. The bad news is his night is over.
Well, thanks, Mike. There is the furl flag indicating one more lap. It will be a complete restart, Johnny Parsons. We did not complete the full lap. Not everybody crossed the start-finish line, so up in front, Donnie Beechler and Brian Gerster. We talked about the power plants. Beechler in a Ed Pink Ford, Gerster in the four-banger Gertie. We have some Esslingers, some Braytons, a Buick, a couple of VWs, and a Fontana. Should have the green flag this time. You're right, a potpourri of power plants. Say that 3 times real fast.
No, looking good.
Off the break, it's car number 9.
Oh!
Donnie Beechler.
Oh, hang on, guys. Oh.
And another problem on the racetrack. Another car upside down, 2 other cars involved. And once again, the red flag is out.
Well, I tell you, Gary, this is a race all these guys want to be in, and there's only 4 cars going to be taken out of this race. And fortunately, it looks like everybody's okay. We don't know for sure. But
Mike Bymaster's the 27 car, and we can't even tell you who is upside down right now.
They got to slow down good enough.
I think, is that the 14 car? Yes, the 14 car of Jeff Titus. And you can see the crew talking to Jeff there.
Let's look out and see. Do we have a full moon tonight?
Here is a look once again.
Okay, Elliott goes across the front of Bymaster. At the same time, somebody tags Bymaster from the back. Oh, gets over on it.
Bymaster went over too.
Yeah.
Well, kind of a pirouette. But the drivers are okay, but they'll have to tow those race cars back to the shop and do some work. Well, we're going to try it, Johnny, for the 3rd time. It's going to be a single file restart, so Donnie Beechler will lead them off the corner to take that green flag to begin our 12-lap semi. Only normal transfer. They pick up the throttle. One way to ensure we get at least a lap into a single file.
Well, I was hoping to see Tony Elliott, yellow 17 car, come up and do a little better. He just got into 5th. I think they're having engine problems, but he is the guy to watch.
Well, right there, your leader is Beechler. Gerster rides in 2nd, challenges the car you just got a glimpse of. The 3 car is Robbie Flock.
Yeah.
There's your transfer spot, 99 and 17.
Elliott just got by for the transfer. A little nerfing going on behind him.
Oh, and there's 5th place is Animal. Bruce Atkins goes to 5th. So let's see if he can move up with that Volkswagen and challenge for the 4th and final transfer position. There is your battle for the lead. Again on the inside, Gerster stays down low. And he may have a little contact right there.
Well, he got a hold of some moisture out of the blue groove down here between 1 and 2. And that just catapulted him ahead of the 9 car, and he's out there now.
We have 5 laps left in this 12-lap event. But only 4 will transfer. You look back at that number 3 car. It won here about 3 weeks ago with Andy Pierce driving. Also won a midget race up in Kokomo with its regular driver, Kevin Thomas, at the wheel. Kevin had some sprint car commitments this evening, so the drive is being turned over to Block. Back to the front of the pack, Gerster continues to lead.
He's doing a good job. You know, as the track dries out, they're going to have to lay out the throttle more. They're probably not using any more than half throttle most of the time around. Of course, when you see the flame out the exhaust pipe, that's when they momentarily back out of it altogether. But they're going to have to change the cars, dial them in more like you would maybe before the pavement setup.
Well, you know, a lot of guys can find out a lot about the racetrack by driving the semi. For many, it's an advantage to have to go through the semi because there's the white flag. For a guy that won perhaps the first heat race, this track has totally changed since then. These guys know how to set the car up now for the future. They know what the track is like as the checkered flag comes out, and there is the victory. Yeah, Brian Gerster takes the victory here in the 12-lapper.
Even though these drivers physically have felt the difference of the track changing, other drivers, the experienced guys in the stands, know, you know, they can relate to it.
So number 1, Gerster wins it. Number 9, Donnie Beechler took 2nd. Number 17, that was Tony Elliott. He took 3rd. And number 3, Robbie Flock, takes the 4th and final transfer position. Let's go back to the pit lane and Mike King.
Well, the last time we talked to Brian Gerster, he was watching his crew thrash over this race car, getting it ready for the B-main. You were tough out there. Tell us about that inside pass to take the lead.
Man, this is a really, really good race car. You know, I'm back running for Hoosier tires. In my other deal I was on, we were running the other brand, but this is sort of the Hoosier factory car tonight since, you know, and Stewart's running Hoosiers too, so we're trying to beat all the other guys with these tires. But, you know, the car's just working really, really good. You know, fortunately we had all the parts, we could fix it. you know, and that was just a B, but Beechler's he's a hard driving guy, and it's a good team he's with, so it's neat to win that, but it didn't pay anything, so hopefully we can go back out, and we're going to start fourth, I guess, so I'd like to win this next one. It's 30 laps long.
That's Brian Gerster, the winner of the B main. He's going for his 4th win here at 16th Street Speedway.
Well, of course, we'll have a couple of minutes, Johnny, for these guys to get their cars ready for the 30-lap main event. So we'll take this break and come back with our 30-lap feature here at the 16th Street Speedway on Speed Vision. As you can see, the cars are now being pushed off for the start of our 30-lap main event. Gary Lee alongside Johnny Parsons and Mike King here at the 16th Street Speedway for the USAC National Midgets. Let's give you now the starting lineup. Up in front, Robbie Flock. Tracy Hines outside the front row. In the second row, it's Jay Drake and Brian Gerster. In the third row, Steve Knepper, who's won 5 times this season on this racetrack, and Donnie Beechler. In the fourth row, Ted Hines, Andy Michener. Critter Malone and Andy Pierce occupy row 5. Andy won about 3 weeks ago. In row 6, Doug Coletta and Nick Lundgren. In the seventh row, Jason Leffler and Eric Gordon. Row 8, Roy Carruthers, Travis Wellpott. Row 9, Roger McCluskey and Tony Elliott. Row 10, Johnny Parsons and Tony Stewart, if Tony Stewart can go.
They've worked hard on to try to keep that together.
Well, there's a look at Tony Stewart. He's given up the ghost, and he's down there. You see Mike King right behind him, but mechanical problems have put him on the sideline. Off the corner, the green flag flies, and we're racing. And again, Robbie Flock grabs the lead. Tracy Hines goes second. Jay Drake back there in third. And Drake caught the inside tire marker. Ooh, a little rubbing right there with that left front tire. You see 2 distinctly different lines being employed right now.
Some guys are getting a hold of a little bit of track up off the groove, but you know, I think it's going to end up on the pole, and they're going to lay rubber.
There's a look at Knepper in that yellow 55 driving his dad, Junior Knepper's car. He's won 5 times here. In fact, he's won the last 2 outings. This is the battle for the lead. A little gouging. And Tracy goes on by. Excuse me, I'm coming on around.
Little NFL bump and run.
Now keep in mind, this is a national event, and he is still in the thick of the hunt for the national championship. He's battled all season.
Oh, contact.
Number 71 of
Gerster
Jason Leffler.
in the wall.
And the yellow flag flies, and you called it. Well, let's take a replay of what transpired.
Okay, now here's where Beechler gets a hold of the track, gets alongside, but there's not enough room for 2 cars, right? And Gerster sees he's going around, he gets in the throttle, try and keep going, and boom.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is like the Loch Ness Monster. It'll reach up and bite you. There is the green flag. We're racing again here at 16th Street Speedway. Again, Tracy Hines out in front looking for some national points. This is a national event as well as a regional.
Oh, nice move.
On the high side,
Knepper, right
Knepper on the outside. Knepper's going to go to...
Look at 3 abreast.
On the high side, 3 abreast. Knepper goes to second position. So the winner of the last 2 outings here, 5 overall this season, driving for his dad, Junior Knepper, is up in second position. And he uses the high groove.
Oh, man, look at Flock working the outside too. Drake was doing good on the bottom. It'll come in, more than likely.
So Knepper closing in about 3 car lengths now separates first and second, and he uses that high groove, and he's going to go around the outside. Tracy can do nothing about it.
Good move.
Man, they've got that car set up.
I tell you, at this point, they're all steering it with the throttle. You know, naturally the steering wheel's there, and they're doing something with it, but they got to lay out the throttle a lot.
Andy Pierce in 61. And Beechler, your fast qualifier there in the white 9 with 10 laps down and 20 laps to go. There's the battle for second. There's Tracy Hines into 1-3. The other 3, the white and red 3, is Robbie Flock.
Flock's working on it. What he's doing is looking for a place where he's a little stronger on the track, and Hines might not be as strong. Try and make a move on him.
Well, if he can find some moisture on the racetrack to get a good bite in the corner. There is your leader, car 55. There is Steve Knepper. Knepper in about 3 or 4 laps will be getting the back of the pack, and that could create some problems. So Knepper will have to gingerly pick his way through traffic. Nick Lundgren in a tight battle right now with your son Johnny Parsons III. There's Johnny Parsons in the first 25, and there's contact, and your son is upside down. Johnny Parsons III. The yellow is out. That will it bring out the red? Let's take a look again at the contact.
Okay, a little tag on the right rear of the black 49 car, and it sends him the wrong way and bounce into the wall. He didn't hit very hard. Matter of fact, they see he's okay.
Climbing out. You see he's got the Colts helmet on, but he is okay, but some damage to that race car. We are going back to racing. Your leader is Steve Knepper, going for his 3rd straight victory and 6th overall this season. But Jason Leffler may be the show. Jason Leffler, who is leading the national point standings with 5 victories this season, started back in 13th position, and he is up to 5th. There's a look at Leffler.
Leffler got by Flock.
And he's going by Flock. Almost got in the back of his teammate Jay Drake. And they're battling for 3rd position. Second right now is Tracy Hines. That black 3, that lap car, the 111, is McCluskey. McCluskey will stay up on the high side as Leffler goes by Drake. And he's up to 3rd position. Hit that run and then hit the wall, but kept his foot in it. The 21-year-old from Long Beach, California.
Knepper almost got that wall off turn 4. He was close.
There is 2nd position. That is Tracy Hines. There is 3rd position, and there is the yellow.
Uh-oh. Donnie Beechler in the wall. Off turn 3 again.
Let's take a look again, Johnny.
Okay. There he is. Oh, at 3 abreast. Ooh! Climbs over the Elliott front end, and he had nowhere to go. That's tight
he was
quarters.
very lucky he didn't get upside down, but
Sure
he
was.
is okay. The car damaged again, so his night is over. 10 laps to go here at 16th Street Speedway. There is the green flag, and once again, at the point, car number 55, the yellow 55 of Steve Knepper. The real battle is for 2nd, and the combatants are those competing for the national title. That was Jay Drake up against the wall. We can tell you that Jason Leffler has a 118-point margin over Tracy Hines in the national championship points race.
Good action up front.
So once again, if Tony could win this thing, he gets 10,000 scratch off. And Leffler is working on 2nd position, but look what happened to Hines. Hines drops to 4th. There's Robbie Flock on the outside, and Robbie Flock moves to 2nd.
Leffler's going to get it working down there. You wait and see. I think he'll come up, but he might run out of laps. He's the only guy that I think can challenge Knepper right now.
There is your leader.
Knepper looking good. They got that car real soft. See how it rolls? Rolls, you're getting side by. Elliott doing what he can on the bottom. Oh, we have a car upside down.
Upside down at the flag stand.
Oh.
Look at this. It's Jason Leffler. Jason Leffler gets upside down. He may have clipped that wall that juts out there. And he is okay. He climbs out. Now, that can have an adverse effect on his quest for the championship. Now, remember, in 21 straight events, he's finished in the top 5. That breaks that string. And Hines is now in 3rd position as they bunch up behind your leader. We'll take this break and come back with more of the feature from 16th Street here in Indianapolis.
Making history in Indianapolis as the oldest Honda dealership in the country. Goldwing, Rebel. Dreyer Honda will show you just how much fun history can be.
Well, Mike King, Johnny Parsons, this could be worth the price of admission right here. These last 3 laps will be a trophy dash. Your leader about to take the green for the restart. He picks up the throttle. Steve Knepper, but on the low side, Robbie Flock makes a move, and Robbie Flock may have the lead coming off that corner. No,
he doesn't have the momentum. The top side gives you a little more momentum, and he's got to get up there, or Drake will go by Tracy Hines and him both.
All right, Tracy Hines is 3rd, Jay Drake is 4th. 2 laps to go. We'll watch for the white flag the next time by. Now, can Steve Knepper make it 3 in a row and 6 overall this year? He's had a string of 3 early.
Oh, no! Hines. Oh, no. Tough on the back
3
stretch.
cars involved. Look at that
2
tumble.
upside down. Oh.
Well, that will bring out the red. Are they going to check or flag it? Now, the red flag comes out. That will give us, what, 2 laps to go.
These are the cars that set the roadblock.
Let's take a look at the replay of this roadblock.
Entering turn 3, Drake is ahead, actually ahead of Tracy, and he slides up. He needs to get up to the top, but he gets contact made right there. And boy, fortunately, they didn't get into the wall at that point. And then there's Ted Hines getting bounced, and Coletta, Malone gathering him up. Oh, man, got the bent equipment.
And we still have a wild shootout here in Indianapolis. Let's go back to the pit lane, Mike.
See the guys working on the car. That's right. That's Tony Stewart. And then Brian Gerster there right in front. Leffler's already back in with the helmet on. They've replaced the flat left rear, and they're making the adjustment. Now you can see them installing the new drag link, so we'll have obviously the steering in this car. This is an unbelievable effort for Leffler, who, of course, is chasing the national title. And it looks like he's going to be able to go back out and make up some valuable positions here tonight.
This will be a 2-lap trophy dash. They have been given the 1-to-go sign. And at the back of the pack is Jason Leffler.
Now the restart's going to be key here. Where do they pick it up? And Block's going to try and anticipate him a little bit. Here you go, try it.
Didn't do it, though. Good start for your leader. Back in June, Knepper won 3 in a row. He's got 2 in a row now, going for his 3rd here tonight. This will be a 6 victory overall. And look at Tony Elliott going for 2nd position. Elliott was our 10,000 lottery ticket winner. If he could win this event tonight from the back of the pack, there is the white flag, and it looks like Knepper has him covered.
Steve Knepper looking good. He's driving that cushion just right, if you want to call it that. The car's working for him.
Dual checkered flags. Knepper wins his 3rd in a row, 6th overall. So our congratulations to Steve Knepper. We'll take this break and come back and talk to our winners.